The announced trailer for Sheepherds got 25,000 views, but the launch trailer got over 100,000 views, in part by changing its editing style after a consultation with me. I'm a professional game trailer editor, and I'll explain what changed and how you can do the same to make a better trailer for your game. Hi, I'm Derek Lieu, and this is Video Game Trailer Academy, a series of videos to help you make better game trailers. My main advice for the editing of the trailer was STFD. Slow the f down. What does that mean? Like these slow environment shots? Dear God, no. I made a whole video about why these are largely an awful way to start a game trailer. So, what does slow down mean? Aren't trailers supposed to be cut fast to cram in as much as possible? No! Forget what you think a trailer is and think of what a trailer needs to do. The only requirements for a trailer: short, sums up what the thing is, shows what makes it unique, shows some variety, maybe. And here's what I see in most trailers, especially ones made by developers. So often, trailers are title card on gameplay after title card on gameplay, moving from point to point to point without any time spent strengthening a message or elaborating. Just point after point after point. A title card is basically you inserting yourself into the trailer. It wouldn't be there if the trailer was just gameplay. So when a trailer starts with gameplay and a title card is already there explaining things, it's as if you're getting in the way when the audience is just trying to get a first look. This, at worst, will feel like a hard sell because, again, if the title cards are a proxy for you, that means every time there's a title card, that's you on screen calling out the things in your game. I can't tell you the number of times I've started a trailer and on the first frame, there's already a title card on top of the gameplay explaining what's on screen. Pro tip: if your trailer has a shot with text and gameplay, the text is the first thing the audience is going to look at. We're just wired that way. It's impossible to ignore. Ever try watching a movie with subtitles on and not look at the subtitles? It's impossible. Also, if the shot is only just long enough for us to read the text, I guarantee we didn't have enough time to then get a good look at the gameplay.
A chance for more myth.
At best, we have processed both the text and gameplay. And if you move on from point to point too quickly, we don't get a chance to see gameplay for ourselves to make our own judgments or enjoy the fun of discovering a new thing. Let me show you a before and after for the game Sheepherds to give you a sense of the difference between a trailer which rushes through its features and one which knows how to slow the f down and give the audience a good look at what the game is and what makes it unique. First, let's look at the announced trailer. As far as rushing through features, this actually isn't as egregious as other trailers I've seen. It spends a decent amount of time on each moment, but it still doesn't spend enough time on the most important parts of the gameplay. First, there's too much time on the dogs barking in the opening shot. While it's cute, it's secondary to the main thing in the game, which is herding sheep. Also, after the dogs finally run, the trailer cuts away to a title card before we see any herding. There's no clear sheep herding until 8 seconds in. First fix: show the herding sooner. The next shot with text, "A cozy co-op party game," is clear, but not very interesting on its own, but the shot does show the objective of herding sheep into a barn. This title card is good in that it points out this is a co-op game, because otherwise It's hard for us to know this for sure, but a cozy co-op party game doesn't have much flavor. There are so many opportunities for sheep-related adjectives or puns. I suggested rewriting this. Keep the co-op part, but rewrite the copy to fit the game. Also, I prefer full-screen title cards so the trailer doesn't split attention between gameplay and copy. Full-screen title cards reduce cognitive load. Next fix. Reword the copy and make it full screen for clarity. The following shot says herd sheep to collect their wool, and here they show a new mechanic. Herding sheep through flowers changes the color of the sheep. This is a good new layer to the game mechanics, but the shot immediately after is about customizing your dogs. Why is this skipping to cosmetics already? I want more gameplay. Also, in these shots, the players always perfectly herd the sheep, which makes it look like there's no challenge. It's a cozy looking game, so I don't expect it to be the Dark Souls of sheep herding games, but even a little challenge makes it look more fun. Next fixes, show more gameplay before moving on to cosmetics. And don't make it look too easy. The problem with showing cosmetics too soon is it tells me the gameplay is so shallow there wasn't anything left to show. So the trailer had to move on and show dogs in costumes. I always recommend this sort of shot be saved for no sooner than halfway through the trailer. Ideally, even later. 3/4 of the way through feels nice to me. This one appears a third of the way through. Next fix, don't show customization until halfway through the trailer at the earliest. Play at your own pace was confusing to me because I don't know what that means. What kind of paces are there? Is there a speedrun mode? Is there a mode where you don't need to finish at all? This lacked context, so my next fix was reword or remove the play at your own pace section. After this is a montage of wide shots where I can tell that the sheep are different colors, but otherwise I'm not getting a good sense of what the gameplay is or what the new challenges are. This shows a lot of colored flowers, but my eye isn't directed towards anything. This one just shows sheep running and dogs barking. If anything, this is a step back. None of these shots introduce new concepts. They at best show the coloring mechanic less clearly. So for me, all of these shots went in one ear and out the other. Next, the trailer ends on bonus challenges, which I found difficult to care about since I still don't have a good sense of the core gameplay. I also don't really understand what the bonus challenges are, so how can I care what they add? While this is more interesting than the cosmetics because at least it shows a bit of gameplay variety, I would still rather the audience know the depth of the core gameplay rather than come away thinking no one thing in this game has much substance. And then the trailer is over. There's also a button with a dog peeing on a tree. No notes on that one. Last fixes. Recapture or reorder shots so it's easier to understand the gameplay and put less attention on bonus challenges or remove entirely. On our call, I asked what other mechanics there are in the game because from the Announce trailer, I got the basics but not a lot of meat. A couple things I learned are that colored sheep turn back to white when they walk into ocean waves, and colors can also mix. I didn't see these in the trailer, so they were good candidates for the final trailer. Overall, my message to them was slow the down and show more core gameplay and mechanics which change things up, and show bonus modes if they very clearly look different than the core gameplay. Now take a look at the final trailer. huge improvement. Again, of course I'd say that, I was the consultant. The first trailer didn't show sheep herding until 8 seconds in. This one shows it at 2. The opening shot is a leisurely 10 seconds, which shows the gameplay very clearly with a pace befitting a cozy game. New title card, a fluffy, cheeky co-op game. It isn't hugely different from the original, but now it's a little personalized to the game. The next shot takes its time showing how sheep walking through flowers change color, and also sheep walking through water get color washed off. In this shot, the washed sheep don't make it into the barn, just like I suggested, and I think it helps show a bit of complexity and teases the audience a bit by making them want to do a better job. The next shot is also about coloring, and again, it takes its time clearly showing how the game works. Then we see a shot of sheep being herded nearby a flowing ocean, providing another hurdle to the basic mechanic. Then there's a shot of a dog going straight into the center of a herd and scattering them. Then a comedic bit with dogs barking at each other and one running off peeing. You'll see in the retention graph that people went back to watch this part over and over again. After this, we see some new levels with interesting new mechanics like portals and mixing colors, both given enough time to fully understand. Next are some blue sheep herded, a snow patrol level, new dog breeds being unlocked, lots of cosmetics, and then some new modes like a soccer level, chicken head mode, and one with groundhogs? Crucially, the last 3 modes are all visually distinct from the core gameplay and work without any title cards. This trailer received over 100,000 views on IGN and a lot of great comments. I think IGN is a particularly rough crowd, so huge congrats to the devs for this one. They did a great job letting their game breathe and showing the fun of the gameplay. I think trailers which clearly show off the gameplay show confidence in the game's appeal. Trailers which rush through bullet points feel like a hard sell and tell me the developers feel insecure about their game. My most generous read is that they just don't realize what the editing and structure of their trailer is saying. So, what lessons should you take away from this? Firstly, Sheepherds has a lot of advantages. Its game mechanic is based on a real-life thing. This means it's very understandable from a single shot. It's very hooky and gifable. Only the mechanics like coloring sheep, which aren't based on real life, need more time and shots to sink in. Games not based on easily recognizable concepts have to take more care to show the gameplay with well-captured shots, edited in a way which communicates the message clearly. For example, real-time strategy games often have to supplement footage with title cards or voiceover to help the audience understand what they're seeing. The more novel the mechanics of your game, the fewer games people can compare it to. The more time you should take showing the audience how the game works. This is why Call of Duty games are at the complete opposite end of the spectrum. They don't need to get you up to speed on how a cinematic military shooter game plays, so their trailers just go buck wild with the editing. Games in saturated genres like life sims, roguelikes, or deck builders come with a lot of preconceptions, so you'll likely have to move through the concepts of the games quicker because of an audience with lots of prior knowledge of the genre can get ahead of the trailer. You never want the audience to be several steps ahead of the trailer. That's when they get bored. Final advice, spend more time in your trailer on the thing that is the thing in your game. You're not in a hurry to show variety, especially if they're things which don't meaningfully impact gameplay. Trailers, especially for games with new mechanics, are very much part video tutorial, so don't speedrun the tutorial to get straight to the cosmetics and bonuses. If you've made a trailer and the first several shots have title cards explaining what is happening in every single shot, try to show a few shots without title cards to give us a sample of the gameplay and the vibe before getting in front to explain the game within an inch of its life. You don't have to explain every part of your game. In your first shot, quickly show how the game plays and controls, whether this is a character walking left to right, in first person, third person, or navigating a fake OS on a computer desktop. Then, concentrate on what makes your game different, either as an entirely new thing or within the context of all the past games in your game's genre. People want to see gameplay. Show, don't tell. And slow the down.